had a dream. I was fooling with Crystal at first. That's how it started. And she started playing with herself, and I found a toy. It was a big toy. I think seemed like it, should have had a engine. And she said something about her period shouldn't be coming. And I went and rinsed it off, and she kept playing with herself. And it was clean, but when I was rinsing it off, it was a whole lot of blood. And some guys lived there. They came home, and I went back in there, and I was, trying to rinse it off real quick. But I rinsed it off real quick, and I was going to stuff it beside the dryer. Because it just so happened that our washing machine was there, right next to the sink. It's kind of like the sink turned into a washing machine, and I was going to stuff it beside it, but I just left it on top. Or kind of left it in the sink. Went back in there, 4 guys. And they were all cool, man. Cool as shit. One of them had some weird hair. Like this weird hair thing going on. But kicking it with the guys, and everything is cool. And I go to, check on Crystal. And one of the guys said something like, yo, da-da-da-da-da. I'm just like, she sleeps, she got her hair, she covered up and stuff. She's kicking it with the guys some more. They cool. Check on Crystal again. And it's a whole nother chick. The dude was like, da-da-da-da-da again. And I noticed there was another chick. And I'm like, what? What in the world? Where's Crystal? Nobody knew, And I just ended up telling the guys that they were cool as hell. We went outside, and it was like celebrities and stuff outside. I think I saw Stevie Wonder. I saw Unc, and his hair had gotten longer, and he looked better. He looked like improved. The stars in the sky were there was so many of them, and there was this silver horse that kind of flipped. It was like it wasn't a real horse, it was like almost like a cookie cutter, in the sky, shaped like a horse, and it was silver, and it flipped. And then I turned around, and when I turned around again, there was like a whole huge cluster of stars, and they flipped. Like the whole cluster flipped. At the end, I saw Jay-Z like peeking from behind somebody, and I got so freaking happy. Outside was just amazing. It was like everywhere I turned, happiness. Oh yeah, I saw this chick, and I knew as soon as I saw her. As soon as I went outside, I saw her, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta holler. And I started to run over there. And you know how when you finna holler at somebody, you're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I don't know. Maybe I'll holler. Maybe I won't, man. I said I'm gonna holler. And I said I'm gonna kiss her too, because I saw her lips from a distance. Ran up on it. You're so beautiful. Kissed her. Oh my God. And I grabbed her by the waist. When I kissed her though, her head kind of went, she kind of kissed me back, but she wasn't expecting it, and her head went back in the car. But I held her by the waist, and her head came back up out the car window. That was strange, but she wasn't mad. She didn't slap me. She didn't cry. She wasn't frowning. And I told her I treat her good too. I'll treat you good too. And she was like, "Oh, baby, you too young for me." And I was like, "No, I'm 31." And I just walked away. And I said to somebody else, I was like, "She want me to come back now." And that lady said something. I didn't hear what she said. I was like, what? I was like, huh? And I came back to her. She said something. I was just like, oh, yeah. And then I kind of played it off, kind of like we, was talking. Because I didn't want her to be, embarrassed. Because I didn't hear nothing she said. But I kept it moving. And I saw this little kid. And she had on this outfit. And it was popping. I was like, Joe. I was like, your outfit popping. And then she walked off, and I didn't see it on the shoes anymore because it was just on the front. And I was like, it was on the shoes. She turned around. I was like, oh, it's on the front. I was like, yeah, you popping. And she kept it moving, and that's when I just felt so much joy being out there with those folks. But when I saw that doggone silver horse in the sky flip, oh my goodness. And it was real. I made this my reality while I was there. No, as a matter of fact, when I was with the guys, I said, I'm dreaming. I told one of them, I was like, oh my God, I'm dreaming, How cool is that? I kept just thinking, like, how cool is that? And that's when I saw that lady and I kissed her. Kissed them pretty lips. Oh man, what a wonderful experience. I didn't know where I was, I knew I was dreaming, but I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep my eyes closed and keep this thing going. I thought I was sleeping at Crystal's place. I really thought I was sleeping at Crystal's place. And, the more I started to come back, I just kind of remembered, no, I'm at Tiz's house, in the back room, in Kayla's room, my mama's house, I saw like 2 other celebrities too, but it was like a mix of Bishop Don Magic One and Stevie Wonder, who I hugged. It was just joy. It was quite joyous. But the toy that I would play with Crystal with was huge, man. It didn't seem like it could fit in there. But then when I went and brought it closer to her and played with her, clicked with it, it kind of seemed like it would. That was crazy. It had 2 switches on it to make it vibrate at one part, and then another part was like a button and a switch on it. It was just big with all kind of, different ridges and stuff on it. And for a second at the end, I thought I was dead. I said, am I dead? And I looked at somebody, and I realized the fact that I didn't know something meant that I wasn't, it was all euphoria and blissful. And then it was like, yo, am I dead? And, when I said that, somebody was crying. Like, somebody was crying, like as if, it was as if I could see what it would be like if I was, somebody, crying over it, and, so it's like if I was, I would have been able to see everything going on that involved me, But it was like, nah, I'm asleep. But I'm like, where am I sleeping at, Did something happen? Am I in the hospital, in a coma? I really didn't know. In a sense, I was scared as to what I would see next because everything was just so amazing. It was like, what, what am I going to see when I turn around next? It was almost frightening.